Hi guys, welcome back to our second episode. Yes. Probably like second, but like our like 1A. I feel like it's like a more official episode. It's been a bit. We've been gone for. I was going to ask you this before, Jay. How long has it been? When we were here last, like 2 months at least. Yeah. So I think it was about 2 months. That wasn't exactly the plan to fall off like that. No. But I wouldn't really even say that we fell off. And I think we'll talk a little bit in the beginning. Like a lot's just gone on since we were both like very, I feel like we were planning for stuff. It was early May, I think. I think it was first week of May 3rd, right? Wow. So a lot has happened since then, and I think our plan now is to be back more consistently. Definitely. I mean, even posting the first episode, I didn't post it till almost like a month later.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't feel real because I honestly didn't even watch the full thing in its entirety.
You didn't? Why did I know you were going? Was that on purpose? Because I feel like I knew that you were going to do that.
Because I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I can't even give like a good reason. Like multiple people came up to me and after
I knew by the way you responded to me, you were like, because I think I told you, I'm like, it was so good. You were like, really? I'm like,
yeah.
Did you not?
No, I didn't. Because I don't know. I want it to be like a treat.
Yeah.
After this one is done. I don't really know. I do these things.
Oh, so you do plan on watching it?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And I might have maybe like, I don't know. I'm like weird. Like I'll reward myself like a weird way like that. But I like gatekeep my own posts.
From you?
Like, from myself.
Yourself.
Yeah. Out of fear of like, I don't know, seeing how well it might be.
Yeah.
Like I haven't posted the clips from the last ones too. I don't know if it was like, I was so nervous.
Yeah.
That I was worried.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, I was nervous that I wasn't like showing up as I like really wanted to be, because I like that like goofy side of myself hasn't like really come out yet because I wanted to communicate so much, but at the same time like it's not.
Interesting.
Like it's not that deep.
Okay. It's not.
It's not that deep.
It's not. And I think you learned that, not learned it, but I think you saw that after we left that day that you're like, oh, it's not.
I was like, oh my God.
It's not that deep.
Yeah,
like,
but
it's not.
Like the little things are what worries me. Like, what time am I going to get here? Like, what are we going to talk about? Are we going to talk about all the things
I was driving here. Like, I'm like, I have no idea what we're going to talk about.
No, like on my notes, but I'm not worried about that. Yeah. I was more so like, I like hyped it up to be like something so much bigger in my head. And now that I'm granted the opportunity to have like a platform and talk to people and do something that I am so comfortable with, it's just like, oh, like.
But what's interesting,
I didn't have to be like so like.
Well, it will. I think like you even just saying like, oh, like I built it up to be bigger in my head. Right. Like I think what ends up happening, like when you like step back a little bit and you're like, oh, it's not that serious, is like that still happens. Like it still gets, and I don't even mean by gets big, I don't mean like blows up. I mean, hopefully, but more so in the sense of just like, I don't know, like when you're just like not so like laser focused on it. And it's like, all right, like let's talk about this today, or we don't know what we're going to talk about today. Like I think it's less tense, it's more relaxed. And again, like I think I even said to you when we left that I'm like, it's not that serious. Like if we hate it, just junk it. We don't have to post it. Like it's not like we're on live television where
you're just like what I feel like it is. And it's
I know. Literally not. Well, I remember the first episode I did here with Taylor's podcast. I think that was before my podcast. Yeah. So I was like, that was the first. I remember coming in here and my hands were shaking, and as soon as it came out, I didn't want to watch it. Like as soon as we got in the car, we sat in the car and I looked at Taylor. I'm like, did I say anything bad? Like, did I say anything stupid? Like, did I say too much about something with our relationship? And he was like, no, like it was great. Like it was great. And when it came out, I watched it and I liked it, but I don't know why I didn't love it. I didn't feel like I was like so comfortable and so myself. And then like, but after the first one, I think I was on theirs again, but then I started doing my own and I felt fine. Like I was like, oh, this is really not that serious. And it's not supposed to be. Like, it's just a fun little thing that we're doing.
Exactly.
So since it's been, I mean, it's what, July 12th? So it's been about
13th.
July 13th?
Yeah, not to
it's
scream.
My friend's birthday. I have to text them. Whoops. So it's been about 2 months, a little bit more. What have you been up to? What's happened since we've been gone?
Well, earlier I was reading our notes, like I said, from the last time, which basically was like a bunch of quantum cognition, neuroscience,
which we'll get there,
quantum theory, which is like wonderful, but like it's really really in depth, like things that like I remember from my degree in biomed, but then also just like expansions onto that, which is great. But one of the like like things that I wrote down for myself, like, because apparently I need to be reminded how to introduce myself. It was like, hi, my name is Devin. It was like, in this podcast, we will be like, I wrote it and prepared as if you were going to be mute and deaf.
Yeah.
And I was going to be doing the podcast by myself.
Well, that is what's hard about doing the podcast. That's why I reached out to you to do it with me, because I would show up here with him sometimes. There was one episode that I think we were like 10 minutes into and I was like, can we start over? I'm like, I was just like, this is so... I am pretty good at doing it by myself, but it's awkward, and like the whole deaf and mute thing. Like that's why I said to you when we were coming here the first time, I'm like, don't, like, we're gonna talk. Like, don't worry, there's not gonna be like any awkward silence, and even if there is, like, whatever, like, it's not.
That doesn't really happen with me.
But that too, I knew, like, I also knew that wasn't going to happen with us, but
like, even if it did and there was like an awkward silence, I would catch that you were in thought or something.
Would,
I'd be like, what are you thinking about?
And I think like when I first started doing it too, I would have plans of things that I wanted to talk about, and I noticed that made it actually so much harder for me.
Oh, so much harder.
That was so much more, I was actually more awkward because I was just like, oh, I have to talk about this, and oh wait, I have to like segue into that. And then if I did, it's almost like remembering lines. And then if I forgot one line, then you don't remember the next 4 lines. And I was like, oh my God, what am I supposed to say next? And I'm like, this is like not my personality to like plan shit or to like follow a script. And some people do really well with that. Like the girls podcast that I was on before here, one of the girls that I'm friends with, like she does really well with like planning bullet points, like like really she's the opposite, but I can't work that way. Something about it just doesn't
or I'll be like anxious and I'm gonna forget.
Right.
Like you said,
exactly. Like you have something to remember and then you're like, oh wait, I didn't remember that. Great. I forgot what comes next, or I forgot what I'm supposed to say next.
No,
but
I'm not worried about that. But back to the what have you been up to? So in that thing, it was like literally a 4-page printout that I had that was like getting me ready, and it's like crumpled up into my backpack. I have a problem where I bring bags everywhere. I'm like not a bag lady. It used to be way worse when my anxiety was higher and I thought that I would need every single product and every single thing. I was like, I might need this notebook and these pens. Actually 20 pens, like a bunch of pens in one bag, a bunch of colors, a bunch of this, a bunch of that. In every bag, I would bring like 3 bags with me everywhere I went. Anyways, so it's all smushed in there. On it, it said that I was preparing for the HYROX, which we have since done.
We did that like 3 weeks later. A month actually, June 2nd. Everything goes on Taylor's birthday. Yeah. Or May 30th we did it. It was that weekend, right? It was.
How do you think it went?
June 1st is Taylor's birthday, by the way, not June 2nd. Yeah. I think it's...
Girl.
June 1st. June
Cut
1st.
That out.
June 1st is his birthday, guys. What were you saying?
How do you feel like it went? Well, it was your first one or no?
Yeah, it was my first one. It was my first one. I think leading up to it, like I did not train the way that I wanted to for it. And I knew that, like going into it, like I feel like so much has happened in the last couple months. Like there was a lot of shifts happening in my life and that was just not at the forefront of my brain, was training for it. So going into it, I want to say the week of I was excited, and then the couple days leading up to it I was dreading it because I was just like, I really wish that I trained for this because I knew that I could do well, and I was like, I know I'm not going to perform the way that I want to. I know it wasn't even about numbers. I just didn't want to feel like shit. Like I was like, I don't want to be like sucking air the entire time, and I just don't want to feel shitty, and I don't want to feel like sick after. Like I'm okay with it being hard. So I was like kind of like on edge about just feeling like shit. And then once we got into the warm-up area and we were like waiting to go, I started getting like really excited, and it was actually funny because I think I told my sister or Taylor after the race, like I was like, once we were in like that whatever starting area is, and they were like counting it down, and you know that like there's an entire race ahead of you. And I don't remember feeling this with the half marathon, but it was like a claustrophobic feeling where I'm like, I have to finish this now. Like I'm here, I can't leave. Like I have like, you know, whatever 8 stations and however many kilometers ahead of me. Like I have to finish this. I have no choice. Like no matter if I feel nauseous, I feel lightheaded, like I have to finish this. And something about that was like exciting, but also a little scary at the same time. Like I said, it was like a little claustrophobic feeling. But once we were doing it, my sister, I would not, I don't want to say I wouldn't have been able to do it without my sister. Like I still would have finished.
Yeah.
But she was just like the best partner in the world. Like she was just so motivating. It's so funny like working with her too, like in that kind of race. Cause obviously we're sisters, like we grew up together, and it was so funny seeing the difference in our personalities. Like I was just like mute the entire time. Like I wasn't talking, like I was in my head, like I was in my body. And she knows me well enough though, where she just kept talking and kept like, you know, pushing me through this, pushing me through that, like pick it up, pull it back. And like, I didn't have to respond to her like once the entire time. Like I had no pressure. But yeah, she really like pulled me through it. I would say in the beginning, I felt really good. And then after the sled push, sled pull, I felt like I was fucked. Like I was like, just cause that was like a full body thing. Like that's your legs, that's your arms. Like it's hard to breathe after, like you're getting lightheaded. And I thought after that, I was like, I'm not going to be like, this is going to really suck. But I want to say when I got to either the lunges or the farmer's carry, whichever came first, I had like a complete second wind of energy, but also like mental momentum where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna fuck this up. Like we're gonna like, this is fun. Like we're strong. Like we're gonna do this. Like, cause again, my sister was just so in my head where she's like, you're doing so good right now. She's like, your pace is insane. Like we're killing it. Like she wasn't even like, come on. Like she was just like, this is like, she's like, this is so fucking easy right now. Like you're literally flying. Like you're doing so well. So she kind of like,
you went before me, right?
We went right before you. We went right before you. So she definitely got in my head, like almost like convincing me that like I'm doing so well right now that I was like, oh, this is easy, like I guess, code, you know? So it was a lot of fun. I liked it. And I thought that I would feel like really shitty after, but it was one of those that as soon as we finished, like I was like, oh, I'll totally do this again. Like this was like, I had so much fun. Like I'm like, this was like a lot of fun. It's not my thing. Like I'm not, even the half marathon was cool, but like probably I think I'll do like one more of those, but I'm not like a race girl in that sense. But I just genuinely, to me, I just thought HYROX was fun. Like I was like, that was really fun. Like it wasn't even like, oh, I want to like train super hard for this thing. Like that's not really like my kind of training, but I don't know. I was like, this was really fun. Like I loved doing it with my sister. I thought that the stations, not that they were easy, but like, I think that, I don't know. It wasn't something after where I was like, never again.
Yeah, no, I didn't feel that way. I don't know if I would say like fun.
No, you didn't have fun?
No.
How'd you feel? How'd it go for you?
Bad.
Yeah?
Badly.
But how come? Like what was so shitty about it?
My feet.
Your feet?
So badly.
What about your breathing? Was that?
The breathing was okay.
Okay.
So also really funny, something that I was doing not too long ago. So we just had, I'll come back to this. We just had media day at work. So I work at North Shore Cosmetic Surgery. It's a plastic surgeon's office. We have 3 surgeons there. It kind of was supposed to be like an interim job for me. And I actually really, really love it there. I'm a medical assistant there. I did do their marketing and media for a while as well. Thank God we do have a new girl now. Juliet, thank you so much, because I did not want to do that job anymore. It is so much work, and the doctors, I love them so much. They will not be watching this, so I don't, I'm not even going to address them.
Shout out you guys.
I'm like, shout out doctors. I love you so much. They're great, but working for a plastic surgeon is so annoying.
Yeah.
It's really great. You learn a lot.
Couple years.
Yes.
And I loved it. I had fun.
Well.
I had a lot of fun. Like it was a fun office. I loved all the girls I worked with. I loved my office manager. It was fun.
It's a TV show.
Yeah, it was exactly. We used to always say we need cameras in here because it was just great
there.
Personalities. Everyone was so much fun.
Every single day, it's just something else hits the fan. But so we had to clean out all of our desks because everything needed to look great for the media day. Like we had a really, really big production team come in, like, and really, really big in that sense would be like 10 people, which kind of is a lot. You have everybody doing the composites, the photos, the group photos, and then you have everybody doing like kind of walkthroughs. Like you have like the man with the gimbal and he's like, well, I'm pretending to like walk with the doctor and things like that. So I was cleaning out my desk in order for everything to be clean. And I saw the papers from when I first got hired there. And in that you have to put, or like you're asked to put what your diagnoses
I think diagnoses
are.
Yeah.
And what you're taking currently. So at the time I had wrote down, I think 3 different diagnoses, and it was ADHD, generalized anxiety disorder, and I think generalized panic disorder. And then I put what I was taking at the time, which was lamotrigine, Adderall, and maybe something else. And I put asthma on there, which is why I thought about this, because those are no longer things that I claim to be as me. And at the time, I was really struggling, which was like 3 years ago that I started that job. And as a result of my struggling and what I was going through and like lack of ability to take accountability, like really, I just could not see it. I could not see what I was accepting and what I was choosing every single day. Those diagnoses and those labels were something that I really clung on to because I was like, those are me. Like, I can't work out that hard and I can't do something like a HYROX.
Are you about to tell me that you don't have asthma? Because I told you that you don't have asthma.
That's why it's coming back to this.
I told you do not have asthma. When we were running that one day, I was like, so you don't have asthma.
No.
I'm like, I'm no doctor. I'm like, but you don't have asthma.
No, I think it's just like I did have
like a
fallback thing. Yeah. Like whenever I would get to that point, like clearly there are times if it's like super high humidity or like I used to have.
The last couple of days it's been so bad. I always thought I had asthma too. It's always been like I know my anxiety is bad when I have, not bad, but I know I'm getting like twinges of anxiety when I have a tight chest and I keep making myself yawn for 2 days straight because I'm like having a hard time breathing.
Well, that's actually not the problem that I have. It's really only exercise induced. So it would only
you did
be
say that it was exercise
myself,
induced.
because I have no more tonsils anymore since I'm 5. So like there is no like physical obstruction in my airway anymore like that. You can't explain it that way. It would just be like if I push myself to that limit. So it's funny that you ask because going back to that media day and me looking at all those things, those are no longer things that I carry with me or identify with anymore. Like, sure, you can have moments of panic, but that does not mean that you have to claim panic disorder as you. Or I want to advocate and tell other people, you know, you could say like anxiety can come and go, but it doesn't need to be something that you carry with you and feel at all times. And you don't need to tell people that.
How long ago was this now?
Because then they'll see you as that way too. Be like, oh, I'm anxious, or I have panic and anxiety disorder.
I remember I was that's what I was like going to say. Is I used to always say like, oh, I have anxiety, and it must have been in like the last 2 years. And it's like something I say to like all the people that I work with as well. Like if they ever come into sessions where they're like, I have anxiety, I have this. Like, I'm like, I always say to them, like, your words are, I know it sounds so corny. I'm like, cause trust me, like I always used to push back on like your words matter. Like the words that you speak to yourself. I was like, yeah, whatever. But they really do. And I remember there was such a energetic switch when I started just saying like I'm experiencing anxiety right now, or like today like I'm feeling really anxious, but like I don't say anymore like I have anxiety, or even like,
just
or anything.
Claiming statement of I am anxious or I am panicking. No, you could feel panic, but you don't necessarily have to be panicking. And so looking through those pages as I'm cleaning out my desk, I was like, oh my God. Like I really had to cling on to that at that time. Yeah. And at that time I was not necessarily misbehaving at work, but like because I was claiming those things, I was those things every single day. I was having panic attacks at work. I was crying at work. I was picking my skin at work, like actively bleeding at work. That's like literally a cry for help. And it's because I was saying those things every day. So anyways, back to the HYROX. It's funny that you say, how is your breathing? My breathing was fine. It's more so the mental battle that you have to have with yourself during a race like that. Yeah. I've never competed in something that long. Aside from like a team sport. Yeah. Yeah. So it is different. I mean, I've never done anything competitively past a soccer game or a 200-meter race.
So did you not like competing then?
I did. I think that I knew I was setting myself up for failure because I have not been training endurance like I should be. And I know that I am capable of doing so. Yeah. It is just that I chose not to. And I knew that. And my partner, Gina, love you, Gina, is a beast. Yeah, she is a powerhouse. She was a field hockey athlete in college, and like she's just genuinely built differently. Like we both have different strong points, but she is such an amazing athlete. And feeling like you're not able to keep up with your partner is just like, I don't like that feeling. Mm-hmm. I don't like feeling inadequate. And knowing like in that moment that like, if I push myself any harder, I will get hurt in order to keep up with her. Like that's a horrible feeling. Yeah. I didn't like that.
Yeah. So then would you say that you don't like competing, or do you not like the, Like, because some people don't like competing because they're I don't like being in front of crowds. Like, I don't like what?
I like that.
You do like that, right?
I
so
like
it sounds
being in
more
crowds.
so you don't really like the mental battle that you have with yourself when you're competing of like.
Not even that. I do like that. I don't like consequences of my actions when I show up and I didn't prepare in ways that I knew that I could have.
Okay.
So,
but do you think do you think that, I think this was like kind of like what I was thinking in my head. Do you think that there would ever actually be a race, like you knowing yourself, do you think that there ever actually would be a race that you'd be like, I really trained well for this, and I was so you would give yourself credit. It's not like the goalpost keeps moving. Like if there's credit to be given, you will give it to yourself.
Oh, 1,000%. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Like if I knew, but I felt that way before. And specifically when I used to be a cheerleader or a gymnast, and when you're going through your routine and you know for a fact the skill that you're about to perform, you could have worked harder on. You know you could have. You know you could have done more drills and more strength and more core stability in order to land that skill, but you know you're going to be pulling it out of your ass right now when you do it. One, you might be by yourself in gymnastics, which was very interesting because it's a sport where you're by yourself and everything relies solely on you, which was kind of nice to have this be a doubles thing for HYROX, because I do get very in my head, and like if I saw on the ski or on the rower that my pace went down, I might get in my head, okay, now that pace is lower, so I'm gonna take it like a little bit lighter for the rest of this race. And I couldn't do that with Gina because I was really trying to keep up with her the whole time. But or you can be in a group like cheerleading, which I started as a gymnast, moved to cheerleading. You're going to be pulling this skill out of your ass. One, you might fail and you look bad. Now you have shame because you look bad. Or two, you let your team down. So this was like a little bit different, but the same feeling of like, oh my God, like I know I could have been working on my endurance a little bit more and I just haven't. And like Gina is more, I guess, inclined to be able to be good at that than me. And that's okay. But I didn't like feeling that way during the race. That being said, finishing it was such a surreal and wonderful thing because as I was running it, I was like, this is something that I genuinely will remember for the rest of my life.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I'm sure you felt that way with your sister as well. I was like, oh my God, this is my best friend.
Yeah.
And we've been friends for so long and we genuinely just decided to do this. I don't even know when people said to us, are you guys doing a HYROX? You guys are training so hard. Like, what are you training for? And we're like, I don't know. We're just showing up. Yeah. They're like, well, you should like pick something as a goal. So it was nice like seeing that come to completion. But I wouldn't necessarily label it fun.
I had a good time.
I'm so glad you had a great time. So would you
do it again or no?
Yeah.
You just want to train better for it?
Yeah, I'll do it again.
Okay.
I also like, with social media as a whole and like the whole HYROX thing, I mean, I do think a lot of it is like a very big money grab, which I struggle with like in this community. Like
what?
The HYROX race as a total, like.
What about it?
It's very lucrative.
Yeah.
And like, I want to sign up for another race, but at the same time, there are so many other factors that come into it in terms of planning and in terms of how much, like, it's something very little, but it's very big, and that's your nutrition and how you're feeling. I don't like feeling heavy. And with the amount of food that I had to eat in order to train and move the weight that I wanted to eat, I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And that's also something that I don't think that you see that on social media because you just see me posting me at the gym every day and you see my progress, but you don't see on the other side, except for one story that I posted that I was crying in the bathroom.
I remember you texted me. It was after yoga, before yoga.
Yeah, before yoga. And I like really just didn't want to go to yoga. I felt like shit. Like, and these are no parameters that like anybody else set on me but myself, that I'm not like feeling good enough. But those are the things that people don't share on social media. And your favorite girl that you're watching do her HYROX and you're watching her eat 2,700 calories for the day and you're watching her do her morning routine. Like, you don't know that she feels body dysmorphic when she goes to bed at night, or that she feels squeezed in whatever she's wearing to the gym. No, you just see a confident girl walking through and you don't see the other part of it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I do my best to try to, like, I know with my platform, like I do my best to try to share that stuff, because different. Like, I don't know. it's not even, I don't even want to say that it's like a responsibility that I feel like I have. Like, I think everybody should if you have that kind of platform. But I think it was more so like when people would start to say things to me about certain things, like positively about like my life or about this or about that, and be like, oh, like you're so lucky, this or that. And I was like, not that I don't think that I'm like lucky by any means, but when it comes to certain things, but I was just like, wow, people don't have, like, I realize how much I have warped views of people. And it's not that that I owe anybody an explanation, but I'm like, I don't really feel comfortable not like sharing one side and not the other. Like, I just don't. Like, I would rather share like the full spectrum. And I remember it was a couple days ago, it was right before Taylor's party on Tuesday. Like, I texted you, but I know for at least like 2 days before that, I was like on my period, but I was just feeling like, I was like, did I gain a lot of weight and not even realize? Like, I just felt so bloated. I felt so like my stomach felt so distended. Like, I felt so uncomfortable. Like you said, like I wasn't even like hating on myself. I was just like, I'm so uncomfortable in my skin right now. Like, I felt like even going to work out, like I wanted to just wear like a baggy t-shirt. Like, I was like, I just feel so uncomfortable. And again, like sometimes I feel weird where I'm like, am I really going to go and just like share this random shit on my story right now? Like, who really cares? But it is just this part that when I do something like that, and then I get like a bunch of messages, or like at Taylor's party that night, like so many people came up to me and were like, you know, not looking for sympathy, but being like, I literally was just feeling that way today. Like, I was just feeling so gross, like so just like whatever. And it's so normal. Like, it's so normal. And social media in itself, like I think after being more involved in it in the last couple of years, I just never realized how, I don't even want to say toxic, because obviously like there's some positive sides to it as well, but just how fake it is. Like even a lot of my clients, because a lot of my work has come from TikTok, so a lot of my clients are influencers. Like they're like well-known people on social media, and not ever like airing out anyone's laundry, but you would just be surprised how these people, how much they struggle themselves as well, and how much like they'll even joke about themselves sometimes, like the way that they look on social media, and they're like, I don't even look like that. Like they're like, nobody, you know, it's just it's like this false comparison reel that you always, I think what's scary too is it's gotten so real looking, like things on social media like are really convincing now.
Well, especially with AI.
Yeah, like I mean, especially AI. That's another story where like there's things that like legitimately aren't real. But yeah, I don't know. I just always felt like compelled, I think I should say, to like share the other side of it, because it's just reality. Like, it's not a curse to have like these days where you feel great and these days where you don't, especially training for something like HYROX as well. Like, I never even knew about it, but I remember, and I don't know if it's like a well-known thing or if it's like a very common thing, but I remember somebody joking in the gym one day and saying like, oh, like the HYROX 15 or like the half marathon 15. And I was like, what are you talking about? And one of my girlfriends was like, I gained like 15 pounds training for HYROX, just like the high, like
everything.
I guess, I don't know if it's like partially like inflammation or just needing to fuel
I think it's
a certain way, lots of sugar, lots of carbs, like, and that's why, like I said, like I had fun with HYROX, but I would never personally, and there's nothing wrong with anybody doing it, like I wouldn't train so hard for one because I know my body, and I would be so inflamed. Like I would it wouldn't be enjoyable for me to even training for the half marathon last year. Like I was just like, this isn't my thing. Like I don't feel good doing this. Like I don't feel energized by this. Like I feel like my knees hurt. I'm like, I have like more belly fat, like when I'm training for something like that. And I just feel 1,000%. Uncomfortable. Like I feel like my face gets inflamed.
Is like that. Yeah. I mean, everybody carries it differently. And that's something that you do see working in plastic surgery. Like, just how differently everybody carries weight distribution. I know personally a lot of it is in my face, and that is very big for me. It's in my face, it's in my arms, it's in my inner thighs. But when that interferes with how I carry myself, like it's something very small, but like your inner thighs chafing, okay, that might be somebody's normal.
Right.
Do you feel comfortable in that? Okay, yes or no, you decide.
Right.
Guess what? I don't.
Right.
I didn't like that. There might have been a point in time where I did feel comfortable. Now I don't. I'm running this race and my thighs are chafing. Ouch. I'm not having fun. Zero fun. I'm running this race. My mouth is dry. Zero fun. I have to take a salt stick. I'm nauseous. I'm going to throw up.
And some people just enjoy it.
Some people enjoy that. That's great.
I know.
I didn't Really?
Well,
Gina keeps asking. She's like, I think like each race keeps getting dropped. She's like, we should do it. I'm like,
just send her to my Gina. Have the Ginas. They were working out together this morning. They were killing it. I'm like, you guys should just.
Maybe they should do it.
Yeah.
Well, when we were running it last time, I don't know if we did 3 practices and 1 real one, or maybe 2. No, we did 3. And when we were running it, I said either under my breath or just, I don't know, I was feeling down in the dumps. I was like, Gina, I think you should run this next one solo pro. And she was like, really? I was like,
solo dolo.
Emphasis on the solo pro.
Yeah.
I was like, because this is out of control. I'm on the wall balls. I can't breathe.
Yeah.
We're done. By the way, okay, so the end of the race, that was fine. I'm used to also competing in track where you're running a running event, you're going all out, and you're really tired at the end, like falling on the floor. This was a little bit different because you do get a little bit of break when your partner's doing things. So when we finished, I was like, I thought I would be in way worse shape. I wasn't. I'm very grateful for that. But I ruined my feet.
Yeah.
I got double plantar fasciitis, which I have had in the past. Now, might it contribute that the next day I went walking around Manhattan in flip-flops? Yes. Probably entirely. But that made me very upset. I couldn't work out for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. That's why there's certain ways I don't like training, because it affects other things for me. And that's, like I said, everyone's different. Some people flourish with certain things, and some people, it really is just personal. Like it's completely, like even like you were just talking about like, oh, like having like weight on your inner thighs or like on your arms. Like it's like no one's saying, like neither of us are saying that there's anything wrong with that. Like but it's just, and that's like, I don't know, that's kind of like my gripe sometimes with like the whole like, but not that there's anything wrong with like body positivity or whatever, but it's like there's like an unhealthy side of the spectrum of being like, you know, very dysmorphic and like, you know, have like going to extremes to change certain things as far as like, you know, eating disorders and things that we've discussed. But there's also nothing wrong with feeling uncomfortable and having the power and the control to change something about your body by like working out a certain way or like wanting to shrink something or wanting to grow something. Like I think what makes it unhealthy is like the relationship you have with it sometimes, or like the value or the worth that you attach to it. But that's why I go back and forth, because I'm like, there's nothing wrong with saying like I don't like having belly fat. It's like, I'm not saying belly fat is ugly or horrible. It's horrible, but like I don't like it. Like I feel uncomfortable. Like I feel whatever, like even with digestion, like I know when like that's higher on me, other things are higher, and like I don't enjoy it. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with like you being like, oh, like when my inner thighs have like more weight, like it's not like we're sitting here like promoting like a thigh gap. Like it's just saying like that's where you're
I just didn't
comfortable and uncomfortable, right? Yeah. So, and
also having that constant fluctuation, and you shared that on your story as well, which people saw was 10 to 15 pounds, right?
Yeah.
In what, per year, per month?
It's and within like a year. Yeah, within a year's time, like 10 to 15 pounds is like the average fluctuation.
For some people, you notice that. Some people, you don't at all.
Yeah.
And it just depends on how you carry it. But aside from the actual weight distribution of everything, something else that my aunt, who is an energy healer, pointed out to me, or kind of ever so gracefully said to me, was, Devin, I'm so proud of the work that you're doing and the physical work that you're doing at the gym every day. She was like, please just don't lose sight of the other part of yourself that needs the work as well. Because when you're so exhausted in an endeavor like that, it is very easy to come home, zone out, and just do mundane things in order to set yourself up for success the next day without doing deep work. And I think at this point in my life, especially from before the HYROX, because now I have a little bit more time, like we're not doing double classes as much. We're not doing run club as much. It's nice. We're taking like a little leisure from it. Like, what was I just saying?
You're talking about how your aunt said to
focus
on.
It's very easy to lose sight of that. But now that we're taking a little bit of a break, I'm being reminded and falling into old thought patterns that no longer serve me, but it's my nervous system trying to like bring these narratives back to the surface, but it doesn't make sense anymore for me. And that's how I know that I'm ready for the next area or chapter in my healing. And it's something that I kind of hid from everybody in the past because I thought it was taboo. And I don't know. I didn't want to be marked as like, oh, Devin went off the deep end and, you know, she used to be science-based and she was going to be a doctor, just whatever it was. That was my old narrative. And now she's like into spirituality and things like that, when in reality there are more things that are tying together science and spirituality now more than ever. So I didn't really talk about that before, but it really has been a modality that has helped me exponentially. And so those old narratives that are replaying now that I really notice, I'm like, this is just like not real. Like, why am I feeling and why do I have a story that I'm like sick right now? It's funny that
you say that, because what's today? Today's Sunday? Doesn't feel like that.
Yeah.
A couple of days ago, I want to say Wednesday, Thursday, probably like Wednesday till Friday, maybe even Saturday, I was just feeling like very like old ways. Like I was just feeling like really sad, really anxious. Like I was being, I ended up, my therapist is on maternity leave right now, but she was like, you can like call me if you need me or whatever. So I was like, I'm just going to voice note you something quick. I'm like, cause I'm like getting really frustrated with myself right now. I was like, and I'm not saying this to put myself down. I was like, but I feel like I'm acting like a baby the last 4 days. Like I'm acting like a child. I was like, and I know that I am. And what I always call it to her is like, that I got hijacked. Like I always say that I got hijacked by my subconscious.
Like, are you being a brat or are you like complaining?
I wasn't being a brat. I was just being, I would say that I was being like very stubborn with my emotions in a way that like I was just like a lot of like this with Taylor, like arms crossed, and like just like I also I'm really good at speaking my feelings and my emotions, I also have another side to me where I will completely shut down and not open up at all when something's wrong. Mm-hmm. And I was just feeling, like I said, end of my period, feeling emotional, feeling anxious, like a lot of amazing life changes right now with him, with the gym, and with a lot of my old fears.
Tell the people that don't know.
Taylor just opened up. Well, they opened first week of August, but he just launched his new gym Frequency. And it's so exciting. And I cannot say enough to him and to the camera and to everybody how freaking excited I am for him and how proud I am of him. And I can go on and on about it, genuinely. Like he is so clearly exactly where he needs to be and in alignment, and it's beautiful and it's amazing. And I love him so much. And again, I'm so proud of him. But I had some of my old fears come up, of my fear of being like unimportant, my fear of, you know, falling to like the back burner, the fear of being replaced, like, you know, like and I felt selfish. Like I was saying to my therapist, I'm like, I feel like such an asshole that I feel moody the last couple of days that something so amazing is happening for him. And I feel threatened right now. Like I was like, there was so many different things happening at the same time that I was feeling that way. But I'm like, but I'm also feeling so excited and so grateful and so like all of these amazing things. And, something that I don't think we talked about on here, but that I do a lot in like sessions with my clients is IFS, like the internal family systems and all the parts work or whatever. And I was saying to her, I'm like, I'm being like hijacked right now by this part. And it's like that very protective part of me that's like, you might get replaced, you might get forgotten, you might not be good enough, like you might not be important anymore. And that's the part of me that like shuts down and goes cold and kind of puts a wall up and is like, I need to protect myself. It's that part that we actually kind of talked about, I think, in our first episode of like, I need to like protect myself before you can hurt me. So I kind of need to have like this like cold shell to me, and like everything's been like absolutely amazing and beautiful. And that's why I was like, this doesn't make sense right now. I'm like, this old shit is coming up. Like it serves no purpose right now. Like I couldn't say to her enough. I'm like, Sina, I'm not leaving anything out when I say that like nothing in my life, in my relationship and my work and my friendships has ever been better. Like, I'm like, I legitimately, you know, if I had a complaint, I would tell you. I'm like, I don't have a single complaint. I'm like, I've never had a better relationship with my sister, with my mom, with my friends. Like mine and Taylor's dynamic is like so flowy and beautiful. I'm like, not a single complaint. And I'm like, and this is why it's frustrating. But she was saying to me, she's like, you're so self-aware and you know exactly what you need to do right now. Like, you know exactly what you need. And it was more just like a self-soothing practice with that part of myself, rather than being like, oh my God, go away. Like you're ruining everything. You're so annoying. And because I felt myself just getting like brink of tears for like 3 days. Like I was just like, I want to cry right now. I want to cry. But I kept like trying to stuff it down. I'm like, no, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. Like, and then it wasn't until I just like had a little bit of compassion that I'm like, okay, I don't identify with this part anymore. Like it's not me, but like, it's just old shit coming up. Like, again, I got like hijacked for a second and I was leading with that. And I just thought it was such a cool moment, like after like I voice noted her and I like let it out, that I was like, wow, I actually have a choice right now to just like not act like that anymore. Yeah. Like I have a choice to like go home tonight and say like, I'm sorry for the way I acted the last couple of days. Like I'm not proud of it. I love you. And like, I'm going to just like choose how I'm going to act now moving forward. Like I can still honor certain parts of me. Like I don't have to be like, oh, I'm not going to feel scared or anxious or whatever anymore. Like that's okay. Like you always hear me say that, like, that's okay if that shows up. Like I don't need to there's nothing to fix. I don't need to do anything about it. It can just exist. But I like forgot for a moment that I was like, oh wow, I really get to choose how I'm going to act. Like I really get to choose how I'm going to feel no matter what shows up. Like even if something tries to hijack me, or, you know, something from my subconscious or from my past tries to show up, like, and it will, and that's just life. Like we can't get rid of the things that have happened to us, but I'm like, I don't have to let this take the wheel right now. Like I can let it be in the vehicle with me, but like I get to choose right now what kind of friend, girlfriend, you know, entrepreneur, coach, whatever, that I'm going to be literally right this second. What am I going to do and what am I not going to do? And I'm like, oh, okay, like I don't have to get hijacked. But like you were saying, how these things come up sometimes, it's like, I was saying to my therapist that I'm like, I'm not used to, like, I'm very far along in my journey. I'm like, but I still get tripped up by things showing up without my permission sometimes.
Oh, of
where
course.
These things come up and I just get in my head that, oh, I like it's like it scooted under the door. I didn't see it come in. Like it came in and I didn't even see it come in. It's still that autopilot and needing to create that pause in between this, like the subconscious and the reaction and things like that, where it shows up, and then really pausing for a second of, oh, okay, wait, like this thing's here. Doesn't have to be me, doesn't have to go anywhere, but I get to choose what comes after this thing. That's still, it's gotten way easier, but that is still so hard, especially when you're in protection mode, like especially when you're in these modes of trying to protect yourself emotionally, whatever, mentally, and these old defense mechanisms come up, and it's like, no, like you gotta push that to the side. That's still something that I have to, not actively, what's the word? I guess like I have to practice more awareness around. Like it's still, like I said, just scoots under the door without me realizing it sometimes.
I feel the same in the sense that, you know, without permission type of thing. And it's funny that you say that, because I have noticed now that it is cyclic, this repetition of coming back. It might
very cyclic.
It might be tied with my period. I don't know. It probably is. Honestly,
it usually
the more
has
research
something to do with it. When I have somebody log into a session that's complaining about something or scared of something that they haven't been for a while, the first thing I'll ask them, I'm like, where are you at on your cycle right now? And 9 times out of 10, I just started it, I'm on day 3 or I'm on day 2. And that's even with myself the other day. I'm like, you're on day 3 right now. Right. Like, let it go. Like, this is obviously, it's cyclical in the sense of literally hormonally cyclical, but also just pattern wise as well.
It is pattern. And like, especially it's exhausting after coming to terms, seeking out help, whether it's in terms of therapy, energy healing, whether you're doing something crazy like shrooms, ayahuasca, any type of something that will help you come to terms with like what you're facing right now and why you're thinking what you're thinking, why you're facing what you're facing. Going through all of that and being, you know, X amount of years into your journey and being like, I thought I forgave myself for this so long ago. Why am I feeling that way again? That's the exhausting thing that's coming up now. But also it's a beautiful thing because I'm self-aware enough to be like, okay, a next step has to be taken. And something very loud that has been showing up for me in my life is a motif with animals and wildlife in general. If anybody follows me on Instagram, this past week, I was pulling in to OG, my regular workout class. I go at 6:15 almost every single day on the weekday. And I saw this like hobbling pigeon. And for some reason, like injured animals, like whether it's like a deer on the side of the road or like a bird that flew into my window or like whatever, those things kind of like gravitate towards me. So I saw this pigeon and I went to go help it. And like, for some reason I felt like I was like really responsible for this like hurting thing. Like I was like, oh my God, like it really would have shattered me to see it not okay. So I tried to save it, whatever, but I didn't. Regardless, the whole theme behind that is that I'm seeing someone else, whether it's a pigeon, a person, or literally anything else outside of me, and I'm showing up for it in a time where other people are not or may have been overlooking that. And this is the second like very clear example that I've been shown of that. Another one was with a bee, which like is a very silly story, which I told you this, right? Or no?
I feel like you did, but I don't remember. If once you started, I'll know if you did.
It was very dramatic. So I was in my room, and usually every weekend there is a point in time, if I don't set myself up for success in terms of like writing down what I need to do, I'll get stuck in a hole. And I don't even want to say that because saying those words I don't like, but the feeling of being stuck isn't also talked about a lot. And it's something that I claimed and felt for a really long time. And it's okay if you feel that way. There are a lot of people feeling that way that don't say it. And they'll pull themselves out of that stuckness maybe 4 hours later, 5 hours later. You don't know. I'm proud of them for doing that. I'm proud of myself for doing that. But like I was in that place then. And like for hours, I was just laying on my bed. I could not move. I was doom scrolling on Reels, getting fake dopamine hits and literally just like at zero. I couldn't do anything. And then all of a sudden, I was in my room for like hours. All of a sudden, this big bee landed right next to me on the bed. I was like, oh, like I freak out. I'm trying to be better. A bug landed on my shirt today. I did really well. I didn't hit it. I didn't do anything. I was like, wow, this must be a message from me that I'm like doing great. So the bee lands on me, which where'd it come from? All the doors are closed. I've been in here the longest time. You're telling me it just landed next to me. I was like, oh my God. Like I'm being tested right now. And I know it. And it seems silly and it seems taboo to say that, but for real, I know I am. So it lands right next to me. I was like, oh my God. So now in the moment, I knew I was being tested. I knew right away. But still, I called in my sister and her friend because I was like, I can't get this bee right now. Like, maybe it's going to attack me. Like, I need you guys to come in here and get it. I really wanted them to rescue it because I don't like killing things anymore. I genuinely believe in the karmic cycle. If you could not do
Taylor
that.
always does that. He'll literally like
I'll
get a
save a
mason
bug.
jar for an ant this big in our room and like scoot it.
Because I'm like, what if I was that ant?
Yeah.
Seriously. I don't want to be smushed. In the past, I would. But okay, anyway. So I called them in and I knew in that moment, I was like, oh my God. I'm going to be so upset when I see this thing smushed on the ground. I already knew, but I brought them in anyways because, I'm not there yet. So they're in there. They're like smacking this thing. They're trying to get it. It's like all over. They're like, oh my God. They're like, it's slowing down. It's tired. I'm like, okay, you know what? They're like, all right, we think we got it. It's on the floor though. Like we couldn't pick it up. We're not like her friend, my sister's friend was like, I don't want to hear it smush. Like, great. Which is the one part I also didn't want to do. So I go back to my room. I'm like, all right, I have to be a big girl. I have to get my cup and I have to bring it outside. As I look down, it's still alive. And they told me, okay, this is really important. They told me, they were like, it's definitely dead. Like, it's whatever you do, it's definitely dead. Like, there's no way. We hit it so many times. Like, it's dead. I go in there. It's alive. Not funny. It's really serious. It's really serious. Because now I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, oh, I was like, it's my lesson. I was like, and I knew. I was like, I need to take it outside. So I like put it in there and I brought it outside and I put it on rose clippings that we had. And I did it like, I was bawling my eyes out. Because, and I didn't really know why, but I was just like, oh my God, like I was, one, overcoming a fear. Two, like I felt so bad that I could have saved this thing and I didn't. I let other people come in and like almost kill it. And then go in there and it's still alive. Now I'm bringing it outside. I put it on the roses and it died a beautiful, peaceful death. I kept going back outside to check on it. My sister's like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. I was like really crying. She's like, are you doing well? I'm like, I'm doing just fine.
Next time you come out, you're in all black.
No, they're like, why do you look like that? I'm like, I don't know. They're like, why do you have the flash on the flowers out there? I'm like, I don't know. But I'm like checking it. I have like weird videos of this like disheveled bee. I kept like moving it on the roses. And then of course I had a huge long like, conversation with ChatGPT. And I was like, what? I was like, why did this have to happen to me?
Yeah.
And not only that, but I've been having multiple vivid and lucid dreams where I'm saving other injured baby or like something is wrong with these animals. And like, I'm fixing them or being there for them, like this pigeon, that bee. And every time that I talk to ChatGPT about it, which, warning, ChatGPT can lie to you, but my ChatGPT does not. My ChatGPT says everything I wanted to hear. And she told me, or suggested basically, and I kind of prompted to cut out the bullshit. I was like, tell me as straight as you can. Because I don't want it to be like, you got this, girly. Right. You saw this bee. Would you like me to create a picture of you and the bee together?
And the bee alive.
Do you want me to write a memoir for you and the bee? I'm like,
do you
please
want to write a eulogy for the bee?
Do you want a phone screen background of you and the bee that you put to rest on the flowers? So what I told ChatGPT, that the biggest thing that I took away from that was that it's a soul level mirror, showing you transformation and change, but also showing you that you're now able to show up for beings that are at their lowest and struggling, and people are overlooking them, which might have been you at a certain point. So now I'm reading this and I'm bawling. I'm like, oh my God, that bee is me. I was like, everybody. I was like, I'm sweating right now. I'm thinking about this bee on the floor. I was like, this bee. I was actually crying so much. And I still do have the pictures. I wonder.
Of the bee?
Mm-hmm. I saved them. Not the ones on the floor. Those ones made me upset. But the ones on the flower. Yeah, because I keep having these dreams of like showing up for myself. And I think one of the biggest things, and I want to like kind of like tie it up here and transitioning like for next week and things to talk about. For the first time, I'm in a relationship where I don't feel like I need to show up as XYZ.
Isn't that the best?
It's something that I've never felt before. And because of that, it's bringing up feelings of the only other relationship that I was in that I felt true love for somebody. And I thought that came with a checklist of like what you had to be and who you had to be and the money you needed to have in your bank account and the steps you needed to have. And like, now that I am in a relationship that somebody is telling me like, I love you and I know that you'll succeed in whatever that you do. And now I'm having all of these old narratives come up that do not make sense. And I'm taking it out on him. Or like the other day, literally yesterday, we were on FaceTime and I just started being a bitch. I really was. I was like, I don't want to talk anymore.
I told you. I remember saying to you in the beginning that not that this is what's happening with you, but I remember saying it to you because I remember living it, that I was like, it's going to be a learning process, because again, like, shout out Taylor, because I don't want to like shit on myself and make it sound like I was like horrific or something, but like I just had in the beginning of our relationship so much shit come up that I just kind of, like you said, that I'm like, why this doesn't like, there's not space for this here. Like, no. That's not the kind of person I'm with. Like, I'm not with a dog. Yeah. I'm not with a liar. I'm not with, I'm not with an abusive person. Like, I'm not with narcissist, that. Yeah. Like, I'm not. And the behavior, again, like, just kind of going back to what you were saying before, just felt so autopilot, but getting into like these moods randomly and just all of a sudden deciding like, and I don't know, like, just like these switches. And it was a learning process. And I think like now, thank God, like I'm finally in a place where it really came from me starting to tell myself, because I always thought that like it would be something within the relationship, but it really came from me starting to say to myself. And I think I actually was saying this to you the other day, in regards to saying like, I have this because I deserve this. Like, I have a good person because I deserve this. Like, it's not luck. It's not too good to be true. It's not, the next shoe is going to drop. It's not like, well, they could do this or they could do that. It's like, no, you have it good because you can, like, right. Because there doesn't have to be a price to pay or a toll or anything like that. And even those words coming out of my mouth right now still scare me, because I'm so used to being like, you gotta prepare for something. Yeah. Like you can't just relax in good and peace. Like you gotta prepare because something can happen.
And you were talking about this on your story the other day in some kind of
probably. Yeah. What, in regards to the other shoe shopping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And about like being ready for the next thing.
Always. Yeah. Always. That's how I've lived my entire life is
and you're like, you shouldn't be you're not like advocating for complacency, but at the same time, like you can just appreciate
it. Like you can appreciate like, and again, it's a very, very new concept for me of just like saying to you before that my relationship with my sister has never been better, with my boyfriend's never been better, with myself has never been better, with family, with friends, with work. And though that's something that's very exciting for me, I'm very used to at the same time being like, what's going to happen? Yeah, what is somebody going to die? Somebody going to get sick? Is it going to be me? Is somebody going to cheat? Is somebody going to, again, something's going to happen. I'm like, like that's just how I've always been. And as life gets better, it's exciting. But there was always a part of me that's like, oh my God, almost, I can't think of like a scale in my head, but it's almost like the better it gets, the more risk there is for something bad to happen. And I had to recently just have a conversation with myself around the fact that you can actually have a very good life with very little suffering, Kate. Like you don't have to suffer. Like
my God,
and I've been through a lot as far as early on with like death and illness and family. And the first 3/4 of my life were difficult. They were difficult. And that's not me, looking for sympathy or pity or even like being dramatic. I had a very difficult early life and I'm not used to not having difficulties. Like I'm not. And I think the narrative I always had in my head is that life is just always going to be hard for you. Like you're always going, whether it's with your struggle with yourself, it's a struggle with relationships, with other people, with, again, just bad things happening. I was always scared to have children because I was scared of something happening to them. Like I just always assumed bad things were going to happen to me. And now here, going back to what I was saying, is the conversation I've had to have with myself recently is like, your life can just be good. Like you don't have to attach to that either, but your life can just be good. And if and when something does happen, you'll figure it out. Like it doesn't have to be this catastrophizing, earth shattering, like everything fell apart. Everything's, it doesn't have to be that way. And I really transitioned to, as long as I'm still here and I'm still alive and the earth is still spinning, everything's okay. Like I get to really, things being okay or not okay really is my decision. Right. And okay doesn't always mean happy and joyous and fun and exciting. And it doesn't even mean that you love it. It just means that you look around and it's like, everything is okay right now. Like I can accept what is right now. I can at the very least have neutrality towards it. But anyway, it's going back to what you were saying. I definitely resonate with just having a hard time accepting like the goodness of somebody. Like just, I don't know. I don't want to say like not trusting it, but just always being on edge and just having old shit coming up. Yeah. Just old shit that I'm like, this doesn't belong here. This is from that last relationship, or this is from your first relationship. Like this doesn't belong here. Like this part doesn't have, doesn't serve a purpose here. It doesn't have a job here anymore. Mm-mm. And I don't know. It took time to relearn that. It really did. It was I think it was something I fought with myself about for a long time. And then, which I've also talked about, just makes things stay around. Like the more that I'm like, oh my God, I hate this part. Like go away. This is so annoying. Like this ruins everything. And the more I always say to everybody, and I had to practice this with myself, but I have found more so in the last 6 months that the missing piece for everybody almost always that you can never have too much of is compassion. Like you can never have too much compassion for yourself, of just forgiveness and of your humanness, honestly. Mm-hmm. And I think when I started to try to get rid of these things, like even when I was saying like how a couple of days ago I was just feeling childish and I was just feeling like I was being pouty and whatever and stubborn, it was just more so, instead of how do I figure this out? How do I get rid of this? I was just like, what do I need right now? Like, what is this part? And I'm like, oh, I feel childish because there's a childish part of me that's really fucking scared of being left and being abandoned and being alone and not being good enough. And I'm like, oh, easy. I just need love right now. And I just need compassion. Yeah. Like I always say to people, I don't think they realize how easy it is to get answers from yourself, of just take a minute to just like when you're in it like that, to stop and ask yourself, like, what do you need right now? And like, I'll close my eyes and it's like in those moments, I'm like, I hear that part of me just be like, I'm scared. I need love and I need compassion and I'm scared right now. And I'm like, oh, I can soothe that. Like I can take care of that.
The feeling of being scared though is something that I personally don't like claiming because it is an indication of weakness. And you're saying?
Me, yeah. But you don't now, could you see the opposite, that not?
Oh, 1,000%. I could see both.
The weakness is not claiming fear. That fear is just a human.
But in my head, and because of the way that I was raised and what I have gone through in my life, that is weak to me. When in reality, it's hurting me, not acknowledging those fears. So I'll give an example. Literally, maybe like 2 days. Actually, this maybe was yesterday. And I was on FaceTime and my boyfriend was going. Actually, we went out to an Argentinian steakhouse last night. It was wonderful. He surprised me. He was like, let's go out. And before we were going, he had gone out on Friday. And this literally is nothing bad to do with him. I don't want anybody to think I'm going to slander him. And he went out with a couple of friends. He's in the wrestling world. So they all went out. And the Uber at the end of the night, I mean, how many people go in your Uber and you like fall asleep going to your destination? I mean, it's the end of the night. I know I keep hitting the microphone. Okay. I know I personally do that because I'm exhausted. And, you know, you're trusting, you put the address in, you know your Uber's going to take you there. Like, why are you, unless you're in some foreign land or country, you're not really staying awake to see where you are, whatever. So I didn't even know this happened. He told me all this the next day, which I'm grateful that he's honest and told me what happened. But he was like, I was taken to the wrong address last night. Like the Uber took me 30 minutes away and it was somewhere that I wasn't even supposed to be. So in that moment, I'm like, okay, why were you so drunk that you don't know where your Uber's going? Like, what are you talking about? You don't know where you went. You don't know how did that happen? Whatever. When in reality, he actually could have been sober and just fallen asleep in the car, and it didn't matter. He showed me the app. He was like, I put my address in. They took me here. Like that's totally on them. I was alone. I was afraid. He was like, I guess, yes, I could have been sober and like awake for that car ride, but like who does that? Right. And in that moment, I went mute. I turned into a total bitch and I can admit it. And I was like, I talked like this too, which is so annoying. I was like, I actually don't want to talk anymore. And he was like, why? And I was like, because that makes me worried. Last night, like that happened, that makes me worried. Like I had no idea that it did. And here you are being truthful and honest with me. And like as a man, I think if any men are watching this, is you're like, oh, that's why everybody's crazy, because I can't even win. If I tell you the truth, then she's going to be upset that I told her the truth. Or if I didn't tell her, she'd be like, well, you never told me that the Uber dropped you off to the wrong place. When in reality, he wouldn't have worried me. But in that moment, what I'm saying, old things of the past of like, ew, you're telling me you don't know where you went? Like I was like, ew. When he's just being honest with me. And also I'm bringing all of these old things from relationships from like many people ago. Not many, I don't want to talk about myself like that. Like from multiple people ago that I'm bringing into this new relationship, all because there's a factor of love there. And now I'm like, what do you mean you took the wrong Uber home? Like when in reality, that's me showing love, but I'm showing it in such a bitchy way. For what? Yeah. Like that's not me anymore. I don't want to hold on to that. Yeah. So like noticing that, I guess from May, from when we started to now, there are certain things that, you know, we're working through, we're noticing, we're taking accountability for, but now they're showing themselves in a different light. And I'm grateful for that. But it's very eye-opening. Yeah. Like you said, when you have all these variables of like goodness, greatness. And then you're just like I want to wake up one morning and I'm like, this is shit. Yeah. Even though I just said all my affirmations and everything that I'm grateful for. And then I wake up and I'm like, I actually can't even open my eyes today. For what? Why am I starting off with another negativity? So anyways, if anybody's struggling with that, you're not alone. It takes a long time to reaffirm these things.
And even what you were just saying about like like the FaceTime thing with Johnny or whatever, how like you just were like, I don't want to talk anymore. Like I think since the last time we were here in May till now, I think, because I used to be like that frequently, where I would just be like, I would just shut down. Like I would just shut down and be like, I don't.
It too. Like when I was saying it to him, I was like, listen, I'm not fun to talk to right now.
Right.
I can't hold space for whatever I'm feeling myself.
Right.
Not to cut you off.
No, you're good. But I just remember after acting that way before, I would feel like ashamed after, and I would feel, why did I act that way? I like, because what would happen is in those moments, if you really want to use like therapeutic terms, it was almost like I'd be triggered, my frontal lobe would just go off. So I would act out. And then afterwards I would be like, that wasn't even necessary, or that's not even what was actually happening, or he was just being honest, or he was just actually being very loving. He was being, why was I seeing through this like tainted glass? And something, again, since May between now and that I've embodied and learned that I just love is having the control that I don't have to respond that way. Like I can just communicate like an adult, or I can just speak positively and lovingly to my partner, even if I'm not thrilled about something. I don't have to shut down. I don't have to cross my arms and go cold and get nasty and wait for him to ask 5 times what's wrong. Like I could just, if something's hurt me, bother me, or I'm in a bad mood even, like I just want to talk about something, you can do so in a way that's calm and loving and respectful. And I think for me, it was more so that I would feel scared to communicate my feelings because I was scared of being
rejection?
Too much. Yeah, rejection even. So I would kind of communicate my feelings, not even aggressively, because I'm not like an aggressive person, but I would communicate with protection against myself. Like I was very stoic and cold and very shut down, because it was just like, I don't want to be too soft or too vulnerable. But I feel since really learning better communication, honestly, and learning how to just be more direct, and learning how to just not be so wordy and not so anything, like just being very direct. That in itself,
you're very good at that.
Thank you, because that's something I really have had to work on. But
yeah, I really admire that about you.
Yeah, it's because I just learned that it works, and it's better in relationships, in business, in friendships, when you just are right to the point and no fluff, and it's not taking away from my emotions, but it's learning to control them, and that there's certain instances when you are communicating that emotions aren't always necessary. Like you can just get right to the point, like again, be direct. But I think I started previously feeling shame about speaking a certain way or acting a certain way, whereas now I almost got addicted to how good I feel with how I communicate now, that I'm like, I want to keep communicating this way. Like I don't, like even if there's ever been like a small instance like the other day where I was just being like a little bit of an attitude, I was so quick to be like, I gotta take that back. Like I gotta go and apologize and say that I'm not proud of the way I acted 2 hours ago, because like that's not how I want to show up. Like I started to become more addicted to feeling so good about the way that I'm being and the way that I'm acting, and that does change after a while. Like that's where I feel that the shift became easier, or it's stuck, where rather than being caught in these subconscious cycles that are in a way addicting because they're protective and they're safe and they're well known, all of a sudden opening up to something new is scary. But also I also learned, I get more love this way. Like I get my needs met this way. Like I'm more protected this way. Like even though I'm being more vulnerable and I'm being, I'm really letting my guard down and I'm being more direct, and I'm, if I disagree with something he says, I don't have to like jump to protect myself. I could just be like, oh, okay, no big deal, and carry on. And I still love you and you still love me, and kiss and hug, and okay, have a good day. Like it doesn't have to turn into like this whole, I'm mad now, I'm annoyed now, I'm hurt now. What if this goes bad? What if something happens? Like what if it's like, it's just so, life is easier when you're not trying to control everything and everyone. It's so much easier.
Acknowledging that it's outside of your control. That's basically at the end of that phone call, what did happen. I was self-aware. I was like, listen, I'm so self-aware. Like I know I'm being a bitch. I know I'm like upset. Like I honestly, this was out of your control. This was out of my control. This is just like a very good example of like something that nobody could have controlled. Uber actually had to give him back all the money. Like they were like, who is this man? Where did they bring him? Like we don't know where he brought him. Like in reality, this could have been really bad. Right. And I am just worried. But in that phone call, I'm like, listen, you don't deserve how I'm giving you my time right now. nobody deserves to be given time like this.
Right.
I can't. And I said, I cannot pinpoint what it is right now that is bothering me, but I will let you know.
Yeah, it's not for him to figure out. Right?
I will let you know. I'm going to let you go right now. I still love you. There's nothing that you can do right now, honestly, to make this better. I need to figure out what it is that's bothering me and what's giving me anxiety right now. And then I'll let you know. So hung up the phone, sat there for a second. I'm like, what is it that I'm like projecting right now? Because in reality, like, this is so crazy. If I were to get upset about this is out of everybody's control. I was like, well, I have this, and this to do, which were things that, like, if I act upon right now, I could get done and that anxiety is over, which is something I've been telling myself a lot. Like, the antidote to anxiety is action. That's something I've been repeating in my head a lot. Because if it's something that I'm like, oh my God, this is giving me anxiety, just take one step of action towards that and you'll feel so much better. But having that narrative in the back of my head. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, I could do, for example, the dishes, my laundry, and like unpack my car or like clean my car or something. Now that I've done those things and those things aren't hovering over me in a sense of like getting my stomach like in all butterflies and feeling nauseous and anxious, I was like, actually, what I'm feeling is lonely, and what I do need is love right now. And having that be an actual thought that I have and being able to communicate it seems like really stupid. But
no, but that's what I mean when I say it sounds stupid. My therapist for years would tell me to do, and I would be like, okay, like she would tell me to talk to yourself a certain way, or don't say that, or when that happens, like ask yourself what you need. And I was like, this shit is so corny. Like, you don't understand. Corny, I'm so much more fucked up than this. Like, I'm like, this isn't like, I need like the big guns. Like, this is not going to do anything for me. And then it wasn't, I think, until I was like, I have nothing to lose, like nothing's working, like I'm still struggling and I'm still suffering, and started to change the verbiage of the way I talk to myself, or checking in with myself, like, what do you need right now? I really want people to know, like, seriously, it is so underestimated but also pushed so frequently, because it really works. Like, it really works to just pause and take a second and be like you said, you take action, and it's like, what do I need right now? Like, what's going on? And it will always seriously
reveal itself.
It will always reveal itself. And in the work that I've done with my clients, it's almost always they need grace, they need compassion, they need love, sometimes they need fun, but it's never like the words come so quickly and so clearly, and it's almost never like a long-winded,
no, it's not.
I need this. It's like love, compassion, forgiveness, please go easier on me, like please give me some grace, like please stop attacking me. And it's like, oh, that's it. And
that's it.
I was saying to a client the other day, I'm like, I can't tell you enough that when you do that, or when you communicate to yourself things like I was saying before, that like, it's okay. Like, it's okay that I feel this way. It's okay that this is going on right now. Like, everything's fine. Like, it's okay. I was saying to her, I'm like, it's like a melting in your chest that you just feel your body calm down when you say to it, like, it's fine. I'm here. Like, I'm not leaving you. Like, I'm not going anywhere. Because when I have people that have fear of abandonment, like they're scared of being left, or they're acting out in their relationship out of fears like that, whenever we do like a check-in with an inner part or an inner child, whatever you want to call it, that part of them always never trusts them. Like, I'll say to them, okay, like, it's always like in a meditative state. And I'm like, ask that younger part of yourself, because we'll always like identify their age. What do they look like? And I'm like, ask them, like, do they trust you? And they're like, no, actually, like he or she, like they don't trust me. I'm like, interesting. Why? Like, why don't they trust you? Like, ask her, and like, or him. And again, people that don't do this work, but still get these intuitive answers, because everyone has them. Like, it's not some magic spell. And the answer, the most common answer is usually like, well, because you're never there for me. That's why I don't trust you. You're always leaving me. You're never giving me grace. You're never giving me compassion. Like, you're never going easy on me or forgiving me. So that like younger scared part of them who's acting out in relationships, it's kind of acting out because they're overriding them, because they're like, I don't trust you. Like, I don't trust you. Like, so I gotta turn to him, or I gotta turn to her. Someone's gotta protect me, and you're definitely not going to. And a lot of that work is the reparenting of showing yourself in the ways that you did of, no, I can calm you down. Like, you need love, I can give it to you. Like, you need forgiveness, I can give it to you. And you start to teach that part of you, oh, like, we are safe here in this vessel, in this body. Like, we don't need to reach externally. whatever is happening externally is fine because the control is within here. Like I can make myself feel better. I can protect myself. I can trust myself. But going back to what we were just saying, that does start with you gotta like address yourself. Like you gotta talk to yourself, honestly. Like you gotta listen to what's being asked of you. Like you can't just project it onto other people or constantly act out subconsciously or reactively, because again, when that's happening, I always say to people, I'm like, that's that part of you in the driver's seat. Like that's the part that's just, it's like a child driving a car. Children are not supposed to drive. Like they can't drive cars. So they should not be driving your car. Like they should not be calling the shots and just driving down the freeway because they don't know how to. And that's usually what happens. Like when we get older in relationships is that child is still in the driver's seat and we're acting, like I said the other day, like a child, or acting childish or acting reactive or mean or unfair. And it's like, cause you gotta like do like a little Chinese fire drill and get out and switch seats for sure. Mm-hmm. It's crazy stuff.
It is. And it's also, I really like that analogy. I'll be thinking about that with my younger self. I mean, I think I shared before, I have very lucid dreams.
Yeah.
And one of them that I remember some from as young as like 5, 6, 7 years old. And one of them that I was definitely maybe in middle school, I had met my younger self in my old bedroom and I was looking eye to eye at myself, and my younger self was acting out, which I always acted up and I always was in trouble. And I remember I had grabbed myself and like my younger self looked at me and was like scared to see myself, knew that it was myself. And I grabbed her and I go, Devin, you need to behave. You need to listen. And even like thinking about things like that, I never gave myself permission to like, I guess, feel.
Just feel. Literally.
Yeah.
Everyone, I always say it that the biggest fear I've ever seen in human beings is their own feelings. It's their own emotions. Everybody, you can, I mean, this is a conversation for another day because I can go on about this.
Oh, for sure. No, I know.
But that is everything boils down to people are terrified of their emotional experience. Like they are in life in general. Like you can attach grief to that, heartbreak, like things on their own. There's actually technically nothing wrong with anything on its own. There's not. But the emotional experiences that come with things are painful. Sometimes they're cathartic. Sometimes they're terrifying. Sometimes we feel like we're going to lose our mind. So you can like your feelings are scary, quote unquote. But the more you learn to just feel them, I always say it's like peeling back the curtain, pulling back the curtain. You're like, oh, it's actually not that scary. Like there's really nothing, what I thought was behind there isn't behind there. Like it's just like that big shadow was actually something that's this big and is actually really innocent and cute and needs some love. And your dream just reminded me, and I'll send it to Jay to put at the bottom of our episode. But there's the best inner child meditation I've ever done. It's 17 minutes long, but I highly recommend that everyone tries it. And more so, I'll actually say more so if you've had a dysfunctional, maybe harder upbringing or childhood, or your house was either painful, scary, unpredictable, whatever, because the meditation does bring you back to your childhood home. But it's so good. It's so good. Like I do it at least twice a year. It's really, it's so descriptive and it's so vivid, and it really, and I
want to do it.
Sob after I do it, but a cathartic cry. Like it's not like painful. Like it's like cleansing and beautiful, and it is sad, like it is a little painful, but I just feel so close to myself after. I feel like I really get to experience my younger self in it, and I just hug myself so tight after, and I cry, and I just feel as if I just found my child who's been asking for me, and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm here, I'm sorry, like I didn't go anywhere. After the first time I did it, I went upstairs to my sister's house, and me and my sister are so close, but we're not very affectionate towards each other physically.
Neither am
I went upstairs. She must have thought something was wrong, so I went upstairs and I just gave her the biggest hug, and I was crying, and I was just like, I love you so much. And we're definitely way more affectionate now, but I just wanted to hug her because I saw her in it, and I just saw her younger self in it. Like I saw us in our house, and I was just like, oh my God, I could cry talking about it, but I'll put the link for it. It is so freaking good. It's so good.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to like cry and scream.
Yeah. cry and scream.
And then I'll tell you guys about it next time. Hopefully no longer about a bee.
Yeah.
I can't see any more dying animals. Please, no more. God, please no more. I can't take any more.
I'm very curious if something's going to happen on your way home.
No, I can't take any more. No, I already passed like a bin. I have an irrational fear that every bin and box on the highway has animals in it.
Oh, I always think that when I see a garbage bag, I think somebody dropped off body parts. Because I'm like, I'll drive past it and I'm like, someone's limbs are definitely in that. Because who's going to check?
Me.
You might. But I'm like, people would just, even a cop will pass out and be like, nobody would just put limbs on the side of the southern state. And it's like,
limbs or puppies, either one. Heads or puppies, chopped off hands.
Because it's so obvious. So a cop is probably like, nobody would do that. They would throw it in like a ditch or in like marsh or in a preserve. They're not just going to put it on the side of exit 37. I would, because
41. It's at 41. There's a bin at 41. Yeah. If anybody wants to go look, it's in a blue container. Please go look for me, please.
Somebody go check.
Somebody check. There's puppies in there or limbs. Either one.
What a way to end.
I know,
How did we just get there? Well, that's it, guys. You have any final words? Please tell us if you want us to talk about shit.
Can you guys ask questions?
Like, we are both, I will say we're both very good at answering questions.
Yes. And
depth.
people ask me, like, that's honestly what people do.
Like, I don't know if people would feel more comfortable if we did like an anonymous thing. My fear of doing that though is I don't want anybody to write anything mean about me. When you give people anonymous boxes, I feel like they just fucking tear you apart.
I hope they do. I hope they do. And then I'll psychoanalyze whatever they're, because that's projection. Whoever's saying that, I actually dare you. Go say something mean. I dare you because I'm going to read it. And then
so we'll do an anonymous thing then, because I do know people, I don't know why, but sometimes people are like, I feel weird saying this or asking you this. And I'm like, don't feel weird. But maybe if we did something anonymous, people won't feel so weird asking personal things even, or...
You could ask personal. Honestly, please I could answer anything. My mom says I'm an oversharer.
Oh, does
she?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I've probably gotten that
before.
Well,
I'm a storyteller.
Yeah.
I like to tell stories and collect them. And like some of the stories are a bit informational.
That's okay. That's why you're here.
It doesn't have to be on my life, though. I could just give like insight into your problems, your situations, like in regards to what we've been through. I actually would like that a lot more.
Yeah.
I like that more.
So maybe we'll definitely post an anonymous thing, and then maybe on our stories either tonight even, we'll just open it up and let people, and we'll start. Maybe next episode will be like a little bit of like a Q&A episode that can just lead into more conversations.
I would love that. You guys ask literally whatever.
Yeah. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. See you guys soon. Really soon. It's not going to be...
No, not like this past
We're not going to take a 2-month break this time.
No.
You will be back very soon.
Yes.
Okay. How'd we do, Jay? An hour 15? Hour 20?
Oh, yeah. Hour 20.
Oh, my knee.
That bee got me really going. I'm sorry.